then
leave
thousands
him
of
alone.
cockatoos show up to
Come here.
nest beside.
Come on.
Yep.
Oh my. Now he's tangled up in the boing. Poor
Are we
Mander.
live on YouTube? I guess so. Even Don has
We
left the chat.
seem to be.
Well, he's still with us somehow. I think we still can watch one camera. Oh yeah, I see Mander dangling on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there's the chat. Excellent.
Well, we apologise to the YouTubies both for being late and also for the general chaotic live stream because things are not going well in the aviary today. First, the iPad was blown down in the wind, so that wasn't good. And then Mander had a crisis, so it's all fun and games.
Parrot pandemonium, and now we're having some peaceful time.
So hello and welcome to Cockatude, Cockatoos with Attitude, the Chloe Sanctuary Live.
You know, that camera angle is terrible. I can't get back out now, so we'll have to do.
Oh, it looks like we have Kira, Where's Vicky here, and Dirty Birds Inc., Falcon Sue, Amy, Eleanor, and myself, of course.
Hello and welcome to Cockatude, Cockatoos with Attitude. It's a Mander.
Yeah, we
He's
have
got
the
the Mander
Mander
out
bird with us.
He's had an eventful 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's been out 5 minutes and he already wants to go in again. Bless him.
Yeah, people walked by. That's why they went off.
Oh, the
Somebody's fencing.
excitement.
Yeah, a little excitement. People walking by and commenting on the birds.
They said, that's our moment to shine.
They said, oh, look at that one with the bikini belly. And Lucy said, that's me, and started dancing.
You okay down there, Mander? Is that Pippa bothering you? Huh? Okay. Big boy.
Yeah,
It's
Pippa
just-
took offence to Mander for some reason. We don't know quite why. We think she's upset about the iPad.
It ruffled her feathers.
Well, we get wind, but that's unusual to just get a giant gust like that. And then, you know, when the wind is, it's just hardly any wind right now. And it just came here and came through at about 40 miles an hour.
Wow. A rogue breeze.
Yeah, I had a rogue set of waves like that at the ocean once. That was fun. It was at my ankles, then it was at my knees, then it was at my waist, then it was at my chest, then it was over my head.
Wow.
And I can do the motions of swimming, but I can't swim above water. So, and I had two kids. One, I grabbed the youngest. She's only 5 years old. I grabbed him. Fortunately, the girl, she was 8. She could swim. Because if she couldn't have swum, that would have been the last we saw of her.
Out to sea.
Yeah, we were just walking along, just with her feet just barely in the water, and then it just there are rogue waves like that happen.
Yeah, thankfully you're on the beach.
And I was in Oceanside, Ocean Slime, as I used to call it, Oceanside, California, where that happened.
Ocean slime.
Ocean Slime. Oh, I have names for all the places. Like there's Solana Beach, that's So Slimy Beach. It's not Encinitas, it's Enskinitas, you know.
Wait, is that Lucy making that funny shaking movement?
Yeah, so bouncing Lucy. Going boing, boing, boing.
What is she doing? That's new. Silly loose goose.
Everyone's got that aviary energy.
I'm
And
just trying to
Michelle's
calm
joined
down.
us, so hello, Michelle.
Oh, Michelle, I'm trying to calm down this guy. There's another little bit of wind, but it wasn't like the other one. Boy, that thing hit. I've got it. I'm still working, obviously, so I have it strapped with zip ties to one of the supports now, which is, with any luck, the wind won't come through so much that it rips the whole thing apart. But
Fingers
And you
crossed.
just when you think you have everything set up, a hurricane comes by. And,
Oh yeah.
Mander, you having fun being petted down there?
Is Mander sitting on you?
Yeah, he's finally decided that's the best place to be.
Why not? It's
It'll
nice
be
to have
safe
a
if
Mander
he
there.
sits on you.
That's Cecil. Don't hit him with that. Come here. It's all right, Mander.
Oh, well, John, you can tell Cecil that his #1 fan has arrived because Cecil
Whoa,
is
whoa,
here.
whoa! It's just Cecil. He doesn't chase you.
And I wanted to make one comment about the camera because I at least can only see the camera from the iPad on YouTube. So I see Don has 2 cameras, but I can only see one on YouTube.
Yeah, same.
You might need to focus the other cam too.
We
Oh,
can
you're
see,
right.
we
It
can see the
shows my
outside
cam as
camera,
well.
but not the phone.
I'll just turn it off and turn it back on because it says it's working. So
That's probably YouTube.
yeah, I took my spotlight off. Let's see. Can you see it now?
I have a little delay on YouTube, so therefore you probably need to wait 30 seconds or something like that. At the moment, I
Okay.
see you fizzling at the phone. Oh yeah, now
Yeah,
it's
see
the
it
other
now.
cam, but not both.
Well, we see both in Zoom, so
Ah.
I think it's just waiting for YouTube to catch up.
Oh, do you see both? I just see one, but maybe it's
I
will
see.
be-
I can see both in Zoom,
Oh, okay.
so I think YouTube will catch up. You just need to wait, I think.
Because I can see basically on YouTube the Don cam. So I call it Don and iPad cam, so to defer them.
Mm.
Well, if not, then we just switch around.
Well, we've
Well,
got
I
Mander
reset.
cam.
Yeah, did you see me? You see him now? Okay.
Wait, now I added it, but I don't know if that makes any difference.
I think you need
It's
to
been-
focus it, Marie, because on the Zoom when you spoke, it went back to you. So you need to spotlight or focus or whatever it is that you do.
Oh.
Work your magic.
It says there's spotlights on both cams. So
To me, it
you
says
know,
I have no grab over the cameras at all.
one of those days when
Yeah,
the,
the chat is having fun. They can see crazy birds and desperate humans.
Mm. Well, we can see some buddies, so that's the main thing. It doesn't really matter which cam we see them through.
That's the thing. We can see all the lovely birdie boys.
I'm going to hand this meeting over to you and then reset. So
Okay.
let's see if it'll let me. I'm not sure it will, but we'll try.
Well, I've got a
leave
really nice
meeting.
close up of salamander in the oh. I was going to say I've got a really nice close up of salamander in Zoom, and then it went, but that's okay.
Yeah,
well.
Mander's being a good boy.
Yeah. Well, we can narrate aviary cam while we wait for Don to come back.
Mhm.
At the moment, things are looking pretty quiet. We can see Pippa is on the move. with her yellow crest. She is climbing round. We can see
Sugar.
that Sugar is whining. Well, we can hear that she's whining rather than see that she's whining.
Looks like Cecil's on Don's shoulder right behind him. Or no, that's Sugar.
That's Sugar.
Oh,
Cecil has a toy.
I thought that they were missing a big blue cap. That would explain it.
I can't see that both cameras are on. It says they are, but I don't see both of them, so I don't know.
Oh, I can see you now, Don. I can see you and Chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
But
we go. Now we have Sugar cams.
Now
What
we have
about the other
Shitty
camera?
Cam.
Is the other camera working? I can't see it.
It's working not on YouTube. It's working for us on Zoom, but definitely not on.
Oh, we're gonna have to go to the Google gods and beat them in the head with a stick, I think.
Send Cecil to do that for you. Utilize his skill set.
Well, we can see Chick, so that's the main
Yeah, I
thing.
think.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Yeah, well, this is not right. Oh, this is good. The camera is off, but it says the spotlight is on. Whoever coded that should probably get a new job, maybe working as a garbage collector.
Mm.
And they can pick up their code first.
Well, we're just
Yeah,
going to
they can
ignore
take
the
it
other
with
camera.
them.
I give up on the other camera. It's obviously a problem with Google. It's not a problem with us.
No, I think, yeah, it's a Google Zoom, whatever connection. If you have not both cams spotlighted at the moment when you enter the live stream, or so suddenly it doesn't pick up it. I don't know why.
No,
Well,
they've obviously changed something today.
But
That's
at
what
least
they
we
did.
can see the Shuggy and we can see
Oh, Pip's
Pip.
doing her acrobatics. And
Yeah,
Mander.
the people are so good at YouTube and coding. They should go to work for Microsoft. You know, might as well take a step up.
Mm.
That's sarcastic because Microsoft, those people can't code at all. What are you doing over there? What are you doing, Sugar? What are you doing? How come you're
Sugar
sitting
was
so
starting
close?
to look really annoyed. She was like, "Why is he fussing with the phone? Why isn't he fussing with me?"
She's so cute, so adorable.
Mm.
Mm. And actually, so super lively from Statue Shug to Baggy Shug. Oh, and I think soon there's Mander. Oh, such a
Hey,
good boy. I
Mander.
think the people are very happy, especially Michelle Thompson. She is happy to see Mander again. Mander, say hi, Michelle.
Yeah, we missed the Mander when we don't see him. Because he's a good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been coming out in the morning and having breakfast and begging for edamame. That's pretty much what he's been doing. Although I think he was a little upset because I didn't have any cookies this morning. I had to order some baking sheets as much as I didn't want to spend any money. It's not like it was much for 2 baking sheets. It's $18, but I can make a batch of 40 cookies that way. So as it is, making, what was I making? 18. That didn't last very long. So about 3 days.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Well, they're good for him. It's got lots of the ground up pellets in it. So, of course,
It's a
when they
fun
eat a
way to
cookie,
get their nutrients.
about half the cookie ends up ground up on below them, but that goes. Whenever they
Yeah.
eat most things.
Right.
Not much
Same for
that they-
Nutriberries too. I always think about how many dollars worth of Nutriberry crumbs are laying on the floor.
What I throw out every day is amazing. And the dry food I save for a week. The way I do it, I give them fresh food, dry food in the morning. And at night, I take the food that just kind of builds up over the week. And I put that in there for like emergency. I give them a lot of food at night. They don't usually eat much of it, but it's there. And then all that goes back in the container until Sunday when it all gets dumped into the old food container, which I keep around for emergencies. We had to skip out quickly or something. I have something that's already basically a mix. And then begin putting all the new food into a bucket. You know, they get fresh every day and it goes into a bucket. So
Nice.
and still, they get a quarter cup of Zupreme, about an eighth of a cup of Missouri. They get one. You're not coming up here. No, you're not. No, not after you keep chasing him. I don't want you up here. No, I don't want you to. He doesn't want to see you. You've been chasing him.
Pippa.
I think Pippa's having an identity crisis. Do you think she's Bob?
She's taking over
I
that
think
role.
so too.
It's right in trouble for sure. I love you, but I don't want you up here because you've been chasing him and he won't want to see your face. And he will try to get down, and I don't want that to happen. You're a good girl, though. Just a little weird today, that's all.
Pippa, it wasn't Mander's fault that the iPad fell down. You can't blame him.
Right?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's still working, but unlike other companies that didn't crack the screen, it just put a little dent on the side of it, but it hit hard. That wind really blew the thing down. Mander, where are you going? Come here. Come on. Come back over here. Come on. I'm not putting you on my lap. It's all right. Come on. No. No. Pippa.
Oh, Pippa.
Not
It's
happening.
a Pip.
Not
It's
happening.
a true Triton.
This is giving me flashbacks to Bob yesterday.
Oh, Erin, do you like to talk or tell us a little bit about what Bob did yesterday? Because I wasn't there and could see it. And I think all the others would probably love to hear it too.
Oh, absolutely. So Bob got to come out and hang out in the aviary. It was a beautiful afternoon. He spent the majority of his time out there conversing with the crows loudly. That was very cute. But he would not stop. Don said, okay, you've talked to the crows enough today. Nope. He still kept going. And then he was also playing down on the ground by his bucket or by Cecil's bucket. And he had one of the balls that Cecil wasn't using at that time. I think it's actually Bob's ball. So he was just walking around, jogging around with that. He was being really cute, hanging on the wall, talking to the crows. It was a great time.
Oh, excellent. And was it difficult for Don to keep him off him?
No, not too much. He definitely came up a few times. But overall, I think he understands now. Don's worked with him for a good amount of time. I'm not sure how much exactly, but I think it's been the last few weeks at least. So he seemed pretty content when he was on the ground with his ball or obsessed with talking to the crows. He seemed pretty content. So yeah, a little bit of redirection and he was doing great.
Not so good today. When I was going to bring him out here and have him out here too, but I went to clean him up, which I have to do 2 or 3 times a day, and he started shaking his head at me. Whenever he does that, he's not going to behave. So I asked him to behave, and he wouldn't. Then he made a fake lunge at me, which he does sometimes. I said, "Okay, I guess you're going back in your cage." And then I was going to bring out KK, and KK wouldn't come out. He got something in his head. I don't know what he was thinking, but he didn't want to come out. So
I thought it was nail day again.
Yeah, I tried 3 times and then I gave up. So I was like, okay, you want to stay? He'll come out on the. He'll come out on the next next trip when I bring Lorelai out, he'll come out. So
Everyone gets their time somehow.
one way or the other.
Yep.
And Romeo's getting out of his cage every day and asking in the mornings to come out now too. So
Oh,
Good for
excellent.
Romeo.
Right?
What a
you
good
work with
boy.
him, you get him where he comes out, and then he feels comfortable. And one little thing happens and it sets him off, and you got to start all over again. That's the way it works with Romeo.
Mm.
Now
Hopefully the
he'll come
process
out.
gets easier.
Yeah, for most women, he'll come out. The only thing is once you make a mistake, then he's going to get scared and bite, which is what he does if he gets scared. He'll try to run away, but if you try to stop him, he'll take a chunk out of you, and because he's just out of fear. And so that's why, whereas he's one of those birds you think, well, he would be easy to rehome with a woman. No, not really. Not unless you got somebody who's got, skin like a dinosaur, so they won't mind if they get bit. Because it's going to happen at some point. I don't mind. If it happens, it happens. I just want to see him happy. So he hasn't bitten me in over a year. And it's only out of fear. He doesn't bite for any other reason. Doesn't bite out of territoriality or anything. It's just fear. He gets scared. What are you doing? If that's who I think it is, no, it's not. If this one listened to music, it would have to be pink, right? Because anything that's pink, he goes for, and he has to watch it.
That's a snowball.
That's a snowbird. That's snowball. Hi, baby. How you doing?
Snowball.
You can see Mander watching Snowball in the back of the shot. He's just like, yikes.
And Snowball doesn't hurt him. He just does what he usually does with the Moluccans. He just gets up close and watches them.
Well, I think for Mander, that's enough.
That's my shoe, you big toad. My shoe. You don't need to eat my shoe. You're just looking at me like I'm crazy. Am I crazy? Probably.
I think we're all crazy, huh?
Right. It's a good thing.
That might be I haven't had a cookie in 2 days. Look, I don't know. He was looking in the bowl today for his cookie. He had his birdie bread, but no cookie. Takes a while to make them. I'll make them today. You'll have them tonight. I guess I'll give you one tonight.
Creatures of habit.
Hey, that's my shoe. Mander, did you move a little bit? He's not going to do anything to you. He's not. Just going to watch you. He's a voyeur.
I love the Snowball and that he's such a big fan of the Moluccans and his frisbees.
There's lines I take from movies, and one of my favorite lines in the movie most people haven't seen, with James Woods and Deborah Harry, called Videodrome, but there's a line in there where this one actress says, "I'm a natural voyeur." And that's him. He says, "I'm just a natural voyeur. I gotta watch those pink birds." Pink birds. You are, aren't you?
It's his lifelong dream to go to Seram Island in Indonesia.
That would be pretty cool. I could go as his, what is it?
Yeah.
The person who watches you. I can't even think of it. The name.
Well, I was going to say personal assistant, but I think Minder also works.
Yeah, I'll be that.
See, so I'll leave it alone.
Keep him out of trouble.
I think he'd
that's
just be
funny.
overwhelmed. He'd sit down and he'd just look around and see all the pink birds and he'd just go, "Wow, man."
That's
Yeah.
probably heaven for Snowball. Like one day when he is double winged, then waking up
Angry monster.
in Snowball Paradise, surrounded by Moluccans.
Oh, hi there.
Hmm. That's also cute.
They are.
Mander. Mander, what you doing over there? Yeah, you're looking at Snowball. He's just watching you. He's not planning anything. He's just watching you. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't out to get you, right, Mander? I hear a rooster crowing out there somewhere. Will you leave the water alone? There was water got into one of those toys, and usually the humidity is so low here that it would last on the cement about 15 seconds, but we've got 50% humidity. No, I must be wrong. Let me see. That can't be right. Bear with me a second. No, it's 33%, which is still pretty high. What are you doing? No, would you leave that alone? I'll put a
Nope.
bucket on it. I'll just put a bucket on it. How's that?
Well, that's bamboozled him.
Right? It's like, what?
So you can't do that.
He knows it's under the bucket. He knows it has to do with the bucket.
What are you doing, Cecil? The way that they move their heads sometimes, they're the only time we ever do that is when we're what? Contemplating or thinking?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can see there's a thought process going on in there. But you're actually going to come up or you're going to eat my shoe? That's the question.
Little bit of column A, little bit of column B.
And then there's Pippa, who's a little bit of Columbine today. She's got she's the attack Triton. You're getting brave in your old age there, kiddo. Come here, Pip. You want to come down? Come on, Pip. Well, come here. Well, come see me. Well, come on. Well, come here. You want to come down? Come on. Well, come on. Come on, you little Pip. Come on, you little Pip.
I'm gonna be a pip. Come on, Pip.
I'm just dying seeing Mander sneaking closer to Sugar.
Yeah, he's getting brave.
He's like, Auntie Shug, I've missed you so much.
Here, in that case, you are. Mander, what are you doing back there? Don't bring attention to me. I don't want anyone to notice me.
Well, you're hard to miss. And you're so big and pink.
I know, right? He is just sitting perfectly still.
So we have some new chatters. We have Ismail Topraki, We have Michelle Winfield, who is Michelle too, and we have Fuchsia, who wants to know how Bobbly is doing.
Better, but he's still got some issues. I tried to bring him out today, and he got into one of his aggressive stances, which never means he's going to hurt me. What it means is he's too aggressive to bring out with the other birds. So, but he's doing better. I mean, he was out yesterday and played around. So he was out. He was out for a normal bit of time too. So when he started getting tired at the end, he got a little bit grumpy. But other than that, you don't need to go towards Mander. You want to come here? Well, come on. Come on. Cecil, that's my shoe.
And if anyone's confused, then the yellow-crested one out in the aviary is Pippa, who is the Bobbly impersonator. Because when he's not here, for some reason, she likes to act like him.
Oh my God, have I spotted a bucket boy?
When I have my legs crossed, he's trying to get to my shoes. See, that's what he was doing. Climbed up there to try to chew on my shoe.
The famous bucket boys are back.
Sea salt. Cecil? Seesaw.
Oh well,
Cecil?
well the issue wasn't that Bob isn't well, it's that Bob's having one of his behavioral episodes where he just goes completely nuts. Which
Yeah,
he
he
does
still
sometimes.
hasn't. Yeah, he still hasn't prolapsed, so physically he's okay, but
Thank goodness.
he has a lot of liquid in his diet, so he may never prolapse. It's hard to say because things come out so easily. That's why I have to clean him up so much. But it beats having surgery that might, limit the amount of his life. So
Right. It's a
Bucket.
worthy trade-off.
there's a new surgery that may last longer. We don't know for sure. But the one that Jenkins actually created only lasts about 3 years, and then it's all over. So, but he's a Triton, so behavioral issues. That's what I'm fighting with right now. I'm not going to let him go attack anybody's face again. So.
Yeah, and he's slowly learning how to have his own fun and know that he's loved.
Yeah, he is. He is definitely doing better in behavior, but you got to watch him when you first take him out. If he starts shaking his head up and down, that's the opposite of what you think it means. It doesn't mean yes. It means I am going to argue at every point with you. So.
Yep. Yeah. He was doing a lot of that yesterday.
And yeah, but he was playing okay when he was doing it, but today it wasn't like that. So I go to clean him up, and he starts doing the fake lunges. He never bites me, but he was doing fake lunges at me. That's it. What he used to do when I first met him, what he would do is get on somebody's arm, and then he would spin upside down, hang off their clothing, and then lunge at them. And that's how because what they did with him is they would only took him out of his cage to clean his cage. So they take him out of the cage, clean his cage, and put him right back. So he was only out for maybe 5 minutes.
Jeez.
So in order to extend that, he would bite, lunge, that kind of thing. Mostly lunging, not usually biting, but mostly lunging, nipping at people to try to keep him from putting him back in the cage. Oops, sorry, Pip. I had to move a bit, falling out of the chair.
Poor little guy.
That's what he was trying to do today, although because I had sleeves on, so he hung up upside down on my arm, and I just looked at him and said, I don't buy that. So he still kind of kept doing it like he was trying to bite me, and I'm like, you're not going to bite me. I know that. And I just took him back and put him back in his cage. And if he's going to be okay, he'll start yelling, then you can take him back out. But if he's quiet and gets up on the bars and stares at you, then you better leave him in his cage. He might make it the second half. Maybe he'll calm down for the second half where Lorelei comes out. And and her adorers go inside. Cecil and Snowball have to go inside when Lorelai comes out. And the other one that likes to go after Lorelai, and Lorelai likes to go after her, is Pippa. Right, Pip? You're flaking a little bit there, kid. She says, I'm always a little flaky. You're a good girl, Pippa. You listen to me anyway.
She's so cute.
We love that Pip.
Mhm.
She's a good Pip. Aren't you a good Pip? Are you a good Pip?
She's a Pip Pip.
We may
She's
have Shirley
definitely-
who joined us. So hello, Shirley.
And Cecil.
Shirley, that was one of the people in the airplane, right? Just don't call me Shirley.
Shirley, some mistake.
There aren't many silly, humorous movies I like, but that's one of them. I don't know why I find it funny. There's so many sight gags in it, but
I mean, it's just a classic movie. It's never a dull moment.
I suppose by your favorite scene, it tells a whole lot about you. I like the one where the woman is playing the guitar and she whips the guitar around and pulls out the IV.
Oh, I like the little boy offering coffee to the little girl.
Oh yeah, that's cute.
And then she said, "Well, I probably shouldn't repeat what she says."
Or when he's telling that boring story and the guy next to him is pouring gasoline on himself.
Oh yeah, there's loads of great moments. It's hard to pick one, but I think the coffee for me.
Although I relate to the in the beginning where they're coming into the airport and they're they're supposed to be Hare Krishna, but obviously they're calling them something else. I can't remember what they call them. And no, they're the no thank you, and they're trying to convince them to be. I've actually been in places where the Hare Krishna did that. So that's an interesting story. Swami Prabhupada, who founded that order, was there way back in the late 40s, was getting off a plane, and someone else who was supposed to be a dignitary didn't show up on the plane. So the journalists went up to him because he was wearing an orange robe. And one of the journalists said, "Well, who are you?" And he said, "I am the founder of 112 temples in the United States." And he says, "Well, so you've been here before?" Said, "No." "Well, how can you say you are the founder of these temples if you've never been here before?" And he said, "The only thing that separates me from that truth is time." And he founded 113.
Wow.
Interesting little stories, I know.
Right? Yeah, you are full of lots of information. I learn a lot that way.
You can
So is
ask
the Swami Irish?
Swami Irish? Well, I don't know. There is a little similarity between Irish and the lilt of the voice is similar.
So Fuchsia, that Amy got it. Fuchsia had asked if Salamander was the one who made the repetitive beeping sound, and that sounded like Peaches to me. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
Peaches passed away about a year ago. We just had a memorial stream for her a week or so ago, week and a half ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Jasmine has now upheld the Beep Peaches song tradition. It's now called Jazzy Song, but she's the one who keeps it alive. So you may still hear it.
Mm. And
Yeah, it's
Mander
just
also has his jungle sounds that is kind of similar, but not the same.
Yeah, those are great. Those are great.
what do you say, Mander? He says, I'm just sitting here, hoping nobody comes over to attack me. He's just, you know what I should do? If I could put little red hats on them, like baseball caps on the other birds, and or hoodies on him, I think that he would probably be able to defend himself because he will attack anyone who has a hoodie on. If you pull it up over your head, or give it, or maybe tape a tiny a fake bottle of beer to one of their legs or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can get some beer bottle stickers and stick it to them.
He chooses what he attacks. He will if you walk up and the tail end is facing him, it doesn't matter whether you're a bird or any animal, actually, he will bite you on the rear, but otherwise he's just he's not violent. He's not a violent bird. None of them are normally. Something's got to be wrong with them for them to be violent. And all that can be fixed. I mean, what they said about KK was, he bites off. He really bites hard. I don't know a cockatoo that bites that doesn't bite hard, but
I mean, what's the point in biting if you don't bite hard?
yeah.
Yep. And the person telling you how bad such and such a bird is, quote unquote bad, or all the problems, is usually just an indication of their lack of skill or lack of, skills in regards to understanding behavior and how to interact with it effectively. But that means that a lot of those things can be solved.
Yep, they can. His last human companion used to talk to me just before he died. And at one point he was talking about how he kept biting his face and he was going to trim his wings. I said, don't do it. I got pretty upset with him because we've been talking for a while. I said, don't do it. You got a fight or flight response. You don't take away flight.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Make the biting worse.
It did. In
And
fact,
it goes
he
into the
admitted
bucket.
that.
Oh my.
Yeah, just the tail. He hangs on by one nail too. It's amazing. But his issues, when you really get down to it, he's extremely busy. So if you don't leave him enough wood to chew on, make him enough foot toys primarily. He likes hanging toys, but not as much as foot toys. The hanging toys are for when the foot toys suddenly get torn up and he starts looking around. What can I do? You need the hanging toys there. Otherwise, he'll start screaming, just repetitively making screaming sounds. So,
literally screaming for enrichment in his life.
Yeah, and if you leave him like that, screaming for a while, and then you try to put your hand in his cage, he's going to be so upset that he'll start lunging at it. But he doesn't do any of that anymore. I mean, that was easy to figure out. But he goes through a lot of wood. You buy like 200, 300 pieces of wood, and he'll go through each day about 20 of them. So,
oh wow,
big chunks of wood. We're not talking little stuff, but
busy boy.
He is. He is busy.
And that's definitely a big chunk of the wood toy chunk. He's taking a big part of that budget. He's shredding right through it.
I thought Cecil was bad about chewing up toys, but he's nothing compared to KK. Cecil, he'll go through a hanging toy a day. That's about 5 pieces of wood. So KK goes through 4 times that, and then he likes paper cups and these little grass baskets and stuff. So you got to give him a variety. And the bottom of his cage is always layered with all that kind of stuff. And he goes in there and starts tearing it up, and then I replace it with new.
Oh,
That was the biggest thing. They weren't giving him enough entertainment. He just wasn't getting the entertainment he needed.
So he's really just like a kid in a candy shop now.
Pretty
You
much,
probably can't
yeah.
believe how much fun he's having.
Yeah, he has a good time. There's no question about it. I was surprised to see him not wanting to come out. He misinterpreted somewhere along the line. I think he's misinterpreting something, but thinking I'm going to take him out to do his nails. When I took him out to do his nails last time, it was a real problem. His beak, he let me do. One of his nails, I had it right spot to clip it because you can't Dremel his nails. Unless it'd take two people because you'd have to have somebody else holding him and you have to put him in a collar. But he jerked his foot just as I was cutting it and it cut too much off. So, and then I'm trying to capture it to get styptic on it. I used Superclot, but with as much as it was bleeding, I needed to get some just plain styptic on it first. And it took me about a minute to finally stop the bleeding. And I think he was a little upset about that, although he was cuddly and everything. But, so maybe he thought I was going to take him and do his nails. Once a week, I try to do their nails. Sometimes it takes a little longer for me to get in there, but because when I do their nails, I got to do beaks too. So I have to do Lucy's beak and Causey's beak and the upper portion of Jazz's beak has to get done. And then of course I have to look at every one of them to make sure there's not a problem. But
right? That's a whole production, a whole day of that seemingly,
takes me, because of him, it would take me about 45 minutes to do the whole thing. Add another 15 for KK because it's so hard to do his nails. I'm going to try putting him in a collar next time, but I don't know how he's going to react to that. Because if he's in a collar like I used to do with Peaches is great, except when you try to do her nails. I had to put her in a collar.
The drama queen collar.
And then you take it off. She acts like the world is coming to an end, and you take off the collar, and she's like, "Okay, what are we doing now?"
Like, I fully trust you. Oh, so cute.
Yeah, so when I do their nails, the ones that need the beak. Now, when you do beaks, you only do them when you need to. That's if they're going to have a problem eating, or there's some problem where the beak might fracture. With Jasmine, the upper portion of her beak, where it comes to a point, is just way too thin. So you have to take it down a little bit with a Dremel so that you can get it thick. What could happen is she could be working that on something and fracture it. So I have to make sure that it doesn't get too long or she could fracture her upper beak. So
yeah.
Otherwise I'd leave it alone. With that one, there's no way I can with Lucy back there, I can't trim her beak as much as it needs to be trimmed because the upper beak will start bleeding. And I can tell when I get just to that point where if I go much farther, it's going to bleed. So I keep it as short as I can, but I would like to see it about literally a half an inch shorter. But she can still eat, so it doesn't bother. But the lower beak on that, she gets peaks and valleys and all kinds of things that I have to work out. Cause does that too. She tends to get a spike on one side where it's hard for her to close her beak. So I have to do that. Again, you're only doing it when you can see there's going to be a problem where they won't be able to eat. It's not a question of how it looks. But with
when
KK,
it interferes with the function, that's when it becomes an issue.
Yep. I've had that question a lot. When do you work on beaks? Only when you have to.
Definitely the best advice.
Yeah, that's what all the vets I've been to, when you ask that question, they all say the same thing.
Right. It's so invasive. And if you're not a well-practiced or well-informed or educated, person who's been shown how to do that, maybe like in person or something, there's just like a high margin for serious error.
Yeah, especially since there's blood supply in there. You don't think of it. You think of it like a nail, but it isn't. It isn't built like a nail at all. And it has nerves, and that's an issue too, because the vibrations, sometimes you have to adjust the Dremel. If with especially with Lucy, if it's on the wrong setting, the vibrations bother her. If you get it going just the right speed, then she doesn't complain. But I guess it's like being buffeted around in her head or something. So yeah, but
That makes sense. It's the way how like sitting on a roller coaster would feel different than sitting on a lawnmower, like if you're
mhm.
just trying to think of two things that would vibrate differently. But yeah.
Or if you're riding Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm, and you're sitting on the right hand side of the coach as it takes off, that's pretty much what it's like if you have the setting wrong for her. Because when you get off there, you need a chiropractor.
Oh.
Yeah, you want the rough ride, you get in second. You don't get in first. Get in first if you want the easy ride.
Good to know.
Oh, it makes a difference.
Oh yeah.
That's
I have
what you're
my
gonna
teeth
where
rattling.
you are. Oh, I had somebody do that to me. I'll get in first, and I didn't know, and I could barely walk when I got out there. It just beats the heck out of me. That's one of those old ones. It's all built out of wood, and
Oh yeah. We have one around here at a local amusement park called Seabreeze. There's a wooden coaster there that will just knock the heck out of you.
but that's how she reacts when you do her beak. So you gotta you know right away if you touch her beak and she jerks back that you got to set it the wrong setting. So
Yeah.
easy
And
to
they're all
fix, right?
individuals too. Do the other birds prefer that setting or do they prefer a different setting?
Actually, they don't seem to care. If I'm working with KK, I put it on the highest setting, I think 3,300 RPM, because I can work it for about 3 or 4 seconds, and then he pulls away. It's because it bothers him, no matter where you put the setting. So then you pet him, and then you do it again, and until you finally get the right. You're able to cut it down enough, and also give a little curve in it because you got to have a curve in the middle. So, scissor beak, it's a constant thing. You're dealing with that for the rest of their lives. So,
And is the main cause of scissor beak improper feeding from a breeder when they feed only on one side?
that's what all the veterinarians will say. We can't prove that out, but there's no other
Gotcha.
reason for it. You don't see
Okay.
scissor beak in the wild, so
Yeah.
it's got to be. And the only time their beaks are soft is when they're, in the first couple of weeks they're facing the world after they come out of the shell. So
Skills of deduction tell us. That
yeah,
sounds
so
right, doesn't it?
we have the anecdotal answer to that.
Yeah.
And then it's just forever. And the poor people who get those birds and they have to go to the vet once a week or twice a month or whatever it is, depending on how bad it is.
Mm.
With him, that's a commitment. You either have to know how to do it yourself and work with the bird so they'll let you do it, or and most of them, they've already been to the vet, so they've gone through this. And if it was a decent vet, they're going to be okay about it. But
yeah. Do you think it causes them, aside from when you actually work on them with the Dremel, does it cause them discomfort, or is it once their beak is set, just kind of the way it is, a little, difficult to use maybe, but
it makes it hard for them to eat because they have that ridge in the upper portion of their beak they use their lower section of their beak to
grind on.
They grind it and make a little groove there so they can shove a seed in there or whatever they're eating that they want to crunch. They can put it into that little slot. And if that beak is, off at a 45-degree angle, are talking from the side of their mouth all the time, and there must be some discomfort to it because when they close their beak, it moves to the side. you know, so
Right.
yeah, so that's got to be, it's also got to be physically on a, you know, something that they don't like. So
And that's just one of a handful of ways that, you know, you can imagine a breeder can disfigure a bird for life, including the crop when that gets burned during feeding, which one of the birds has as well.
yeah, that was Coco. She had that.
Coco.
So she could eat, if you put out soft foods like, you know, sweet potato, cooked sweet potato, quick potato, anything that was soft, she could eat it. Otherwise, you had to give syringe feed her. So she got syringe fed twice a day, and then she got soft foods so she could enjoy those as well.
Yeah. I have to imagine though, if you're built for busting, you know, the shells of seeds and, you know, all that heavy duty kind of stuff, that there must be something that you're lacking. Like if we weren't able to eat anything hard for the rest of our life, maybe.
No,
I guess
mean
you
like
don't know what you don't have, but
when you get to be 60 years old and what you have is just remnants of teeth like me, yeah. I have
They go
one
back.
place and one molar that actually matches up with the other molar down below, so I can chew there. The rest of the time, it's, you know, the softer foods are better.
Oh, I can imagine, man.
I think they bring when
Yeah.
you go to a Mexican restaurant and they bring you those chips. I think it's just to torture people like me.
Yeah,
Don't you have
you have to
something?
really stick them in the salsa immediately, and then you can enjoy them in about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
Not the same.
And when you eat the guacamole, you do it with a spoon. Actually, you just put it on top of your food. So you order guacamole and throw it on top of your food. Which now that I've lived somewhere other than where I was, where we were living before, it was avocado king place, you know, what they call it, the avocado capital of the world. So you've got fresh avocados out here. You get avocados like, I can see why people don't like them, because they took them off the tree before they were ripe, before they were even getting ripe, and and you get them home, and when they finally ripen, they're, yeah. It's like, I don't like avocados either, because you can't get them out here.
Yeah,
But they're not
in New
good.
York, it's even worse, I'm sure.
Well, you know, they don't grow much here. You know, I looked up farm stands, and it was kind of funny because there are a few places that grow some things indoors, but it's quite limited what they grow. They grow things like butter lettuce and that kind of thing indoors, and but they don't grow anything else. And there's only certain times of years that you can go to these places. There are no farm stands. You can go there, and they have you can go inside and buy some of their stuff. But so you don't see much grow. Well, you see weeds growing, you know, they see that, but
Tumbleweed.
yeah, finding good vegetables for them was tough at first. There's one place in town that does a good job. That's Smith's. Everybody, I wouldn't go to any other places in town. Even the edamame, it's frozen edamame, but the edamame at Smith's is, you compare that to Walmart, and he'll do the comparison for you. If you give him edamame from Walmart, he will just like he'll grudgingly eat it. You hand him the other stuff from Smith's and he grabs it. It's just eats it like it's the last food on earth, and he's starving to death. Right, Mander?
Oh,
Right, Mander?
I have a
Yeah,
question. Are
Mander.
Mander and Snowball competing about who is allowed sitting next to Sugar, or because Mander was sitting there when our Whitebird sits, and I think it's Snowball.
It is.
Yeah, Amanda is gradually getting closer to Don, I think.
Oh, that's also a possibility.
Hi, Mander.
But he was like, "Oh, I like to sit next to my auntie Shuggy."
You're a good boy, Amanda.
I'm just trying to figure out if he's enjoying himself. He's such a fraidy cat.
I hope so, Mander. Oh, come on, you have a good time today.
Well, he got chased a little bit. He wasn't too happy about that, but
I agree. That wasn't nice.
and I'll take him out before I put KK in here.
Mhm.
KK doesn't bother him anymore though, but he remembers when KK did, I think. So he sees KK and he's hightailing it away, which is the last thing you want to do. You don't want to run away from another bird. That just draws their attention, and then they torture you. But that's Mander. That's the Mander bird. Hi, Mander bird.
Mander,
Hi,
Mander,
How
Mander.
you doing, kid?
Oh, he's such a good boy.
Oh, he's a wonderful bird. Oh no, you don't need to. Yeah, I know what she's doing.
Sugar.
Oh, there's petting going on. It's got to be for me.
Oh, she's so speedy. Look at her go.
It's amazing. She like, you pet the Mander, you pet the wrong one, Lucken. You're supposed to pet the shark. Yeah, now she can be really speedy. That's amazing. High speed robot.
She started playing a lot with toys too. I'm having to put a lot more toys in her cage because she's tearing them up pretty fast. No, don't do it.
Mander,
I'm not doing that.
be a good boy,
It's
Mander.
all right. It's all right. You can come down here if you want. No, you don't. He saw Pippa coming his way. Oh, she's elicited the behavior from someone else.
Good old Cecil can oblige.
They
Mander,
do learn a lot from each other.
You are such a good bird. You know that? Yeah,
Sweet.
you do.
I look at the happy Shuggy. She got someone who
Aw.
trained so now. Happy ending for everybody.
Such a good bird.
Oh, look at that sweet face.
Well, we started a little late, but I think we've made up the time. So I guess we'll head
YouTube
out for
for 62
today.
minutes.
Okie dokie, Smokey. Thank you. And thank you, Amy and Eleanor and Aaron, for your help.
And thank you, Don, for
Anytime.
the live stream.
Thanks, Don and
Yeah.
Flock. Thanks, extended Flock family.
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming.
And we will see you
Everybody.
on Wednesday. Yeah,
I'll
see you
see
on
you
Wednesday.
Wednesday.